see all of you over here. Even before I start, thanks a lot for your time, and thanks a lot for. Uh, can you? I think somebody's mic is. Can you mute it? Yeah. So thanks a lot for joining us today. I welcome you all to this 45 to 50 minutes of interaction. And our purpose for this interaction would be to give you some insights about Larsen and Toubro Limited. I'm sure that you people have applied for a job for L&T and you would have done your research. But certain aspects of L&T which are very unique according to us, we'll try to highlight these aspects to all of you. So I have a small presentation which I'll put it over here and take you through. So this time, let me highlight this, that there are many first timers that we are doing at L&T, that is Larsen and Toubro Limited. For the first time, we are coming together as a single team and hiring on campuses for construction and non-construction businesses. So whatever I'm going to talk in next 40 to 50 minutes along with my colleagues is going to be more focused, which includes the entire universe of L&T, that is all the businesses of L&T. So we are not here for any specific business of L&T, but the end-to-end and entire chain of businesses, which includes construction and non-construction. For the first time, we are also doing a recruitment process, which is going to be a completely remote process. As we see right now, we are operating from Mumbai. My other colleagues are operating from Chennai. And as I know that thousands of you have joined, we are happy that thousands of homes are connected with us today in terms of knowing what Larsen and Toubro Limited is. If you see the slide, it talks about the technical DNA of L&T, and it says it's all about Imagineering. This has been a tagline since a long time. And what does Imagineering means? Imagineering means when engineering meets imagination. And that's what exactly L&T means in terms of its products and execution. So all of us, me and my colleagues, are proud to represent Larsen and Toubro Limited today. And what makes us proud is simply the way the organization has grown and what the organization does. So let us see some of our achievements which makes us feel quite proud. You can see, and this is the most discussed project in last maybe 2 years, the Statue of Unity. The uniqueness is it's one of the tallest statues, that is, it stands tall by 182 meters, twice the size of Statue of Liberty. And it was made in 33 months. If I compare with the second most tallest statue, that is 153 meters, statue of Spring Temple of Buddha in China, it took 11 years to complete. So the achievement itself talks about the significance of the project. Second, you might have heard it was in news, and everybody could see that there was Kumbh Mela in 2019, which went successfully with a lot of safety and security of the pilgrims who visited this site. 25 crore pilgrims visited this site between first week of January to first week of March. And what L&T did was it used the cutting edge technology, your artificial intelligence, video analytics, uh, face recognition, etc., to ensure that people are safe, uh, density of the crowd does not increase, leading to any untoward incidents. And we all know that this event had the highest attendance for 2019 and went very smoothly and safely. So, one more achievement, this blast furnace, which produces 2.5 million tons of hot metal. We built it for Tata Steel in 2009 onwards. It still is one of the largest blast furnaces in India. This is a typical achievement of one of our businesses, which is heavy engineering. And the Statue of Unity was from the building and factories business. And Kumbh Mela project was with the Smart World and Communication. This, I'm sure all of you would identify this structure. It is the Baha'i Temple, popularly also called as Lotus Temple in New Delhi. Still today, it is one of the significant piece of architecture. Its design came from an architect who was Iranian by nationality. Structural design was done by European company, and the only Indian thing in this entire project is it was constructed and built by Larsen and Toubro Limited. Still, this stands as one of a very popular and significant achievement, and leading to something that points towards the sky. And if I say sky is the limit, in 2008, you might have heard about the moon mission. 2013, you heard about the Mars mission. And when entire country was celebrating the Mars mission, because we entered the exclusive club of 6 countries who did this, equally, Larsen and Toubro Limited was also celebrating because L&T was an integral part of this mission, and the casings of the motor which was used for this PSLV was built by L&T. So we have been contributing in terms of many great projects through the different businesses that we have, and this comes from our defense business. This again, like Lotus Temple, I'm sure is a very popular site for all you people because these are the international airport terminals. And till date, Larsen and Toubro has been responsible for building 11 major airport terminals. The picture you see is that of T3. We were also responsible for the Mumbai airport. And the uniqueness of this project is at least the Delhi airport terminal we did as a brownfield project. That is, there was already a runway which was existing. The strip was functional, and we had to build another project around that, keeping the operations intact. So that's the uniqueness of this project. And this is the world's largest high vacuum pressure vessel. This is part of the ITER project that is happening and which is about a fusion reactor. This vessel was built by a heavy engineering business, and it cools down, takes care of the cooling of the fusion reactor. This project is in collaboration with 35 countries, and L&T was fortunate to get this order. Especially, this was transported to France, So a part was manufactured there, and this project has been done in 50 models so that they get assembled over there. So that makes this quite a challenging project to execute. And recently, this one done by a heavy civil infra had a lot of news coverage because of the time period. It got uh, covered within 24 months. That was something which was significant. And why it was significant? Because the magnitude of the project was quite high. And if I give you some statistics, 1.8 crore of cubic meters of earthwork excavation, 18.5 lakhs cubic meters of concrete work, which is 7 times of Burj Khalifa, and 1.35 lakh metric ton of steel work, which again is 15 times more than Eiffel Tower. So these are just few of the statistics of the scale and volume at which this project was executed within 24 months, and it had a stretch of 1.6 kilometers of barrage built in. This is done on the Godavari district and will serve 23 districts of Telangana in terms of their water requirements for irrigation, drinking, industry, etc. And last but not the least, this is Hasba 2, done by our hydrocarbon business, which belongs to the oil and gas to the oil and gas industry. The heaviest fully integrated gas platform, which we did in Saudi Arabia for Saudi Aramco. This for Aramco, Saudi Aramco, is the heaviest platform ever built. So if you see what is common through all these projects, somewhere it's not only engineering but also art. They are quite significant. They are landmarks in itself, and they are the tallest, biggest, largest projects that any company would have done. And we take pride in saying that it's not only employees like us who have spent 10, 15, 20 years who have been a part of this project, but largely it has been a population, a young population like you, who have joined us year on year, who has been contributing to the success of these projects. And why I'm highlighting first is the pride that we take in owning up these projects, and second, because which is very contextual for today, you people, if you come and join us, will get an opportunity to work on similar iconic projects. I have just given a glimpse of what these projects are. I request all of you to get into details. All the details are available on YouTube, on Google, and see it for yourself that how challenging, technologically superior these projects have been. So moving ahead to the history of L&T, we were founded in 1938, and our founders, that's what is our company's name, Larsen and Toubro. There were two gentlemen, Danish gentlemen, Henning Holk Larsen and Soren Christian Toubro, who formed this company in 1938. And if you see, we have been standing tall and stable over 8 decades. It talks a lot about the company, which has weathered every blow of economy, war, or any other pandemic, etc., which has come, which still is going strong day by day. And for sure, we are India's #1 engineering company. We are leaders in infrastructure. 72% of our order book comes from infrastructure businesses. We are leaders in heavy engineering, power, hydrocarbon, manufacturing, and defense. Employee strength wise, we are 45,000 plus strong workforce, people who are mainly technologically efficient. That is the composition of our major manpower, and we are a USD 21 billion company. In terms of businesses, let me highlight this because many people think that L&T means only construction. Few think L&T means a manufacturing organization, but let me take this opportunity to drive this point that we are not only construction, we are not only manufacturing, but we are beyond that. So 7 of our businesses are a part of construction. We also have EPC businesses. And when I say EPC, it means engineer, procure, and construct. So we also do an end-to-end EPC, that is from concept to commissioning in hydrocarbon, in power plants, and equipment type of businesses. We are into manufacturing through heavy engineering and machinery and industrial products. I already mentioned 2 of significant projects of defense. We are into defense, be it the weapon systems, some communication systems, or shipbuilding and submarines. That is our uniqueness in terms of our presence in defense. And we are also into services through our smart world and communication, reality, information technology, and financial services. So that's the entire landscape of L&T. But are we here talking about all the businesses in terms of the hiring that we are doing for Campus 2021? We are not doing hiring for L&T Infotech, L&T Technology Services, L&T Finance, and Mindtree, because these are listed companies. They are independent companies. But yes, we are here to do campus hiring for building and factories, for transportation infrastructure. So building and factories, I mentioned the airports and Statue of Unity, that type of work they do. Transportation and infrastructure are into roads, runways, elevated corridors, railways network, etc. Heavy civil infrastructure, they get into hydel power and the big infrastructures like tunnel that gets built, power transmission and distribution, water and effluent treatment, metallurgical and material handling, and L&T geostructure. So in terms of my construction businesses, we are hiring for all these businesses. The further details and quite comprehensive details of all these businesses are available on our website, www.larsentobro.com. I request you post this presentation maybe today or tomorrow. Please go through the details, including the locations at which we operate from. Under EPC, I spoke about hydrocarbons. So yes, we are here to hire for hydrocarbon business for the offshore, onshore, modular fabrication, construction services, and also for their engineering services. This hiring is also for L&T wall business, and this hiring is also for L&T power business. Under manufacturing, you might get opportunity for heavy engineering and also for machinery and industrial products. Under machinery and industrial, we have a factory for rubber processing machinery, and we also deal with construction and mining machinery. For defense, I already mentioned defense and aerospace, land-based, shipbuilding, submarine, and also aerospace systems. Opportunities would be available in these businesses. Under services, as I gave the disclaimer, we are not doing hiring for L&T Infotech, Mindtree, L&T Technology Services, and also not for L&T Financial Services. But we do have under technology services, we have our new business, L&T Next, and some of the hiring, some of the positions are also available within L&T Next and Smart World and Communications. So that's on the diversified nature of businesses we are present into. And if I talk about internationally or geography wise, where are we present? We are present in 30 plus countries. The hiring that we are doing is totally for India, but once you are hired within L&T, you might get opportunity in future to be part of some of the locations that we have in different nations. As I mentioned, we have been there strong and stable since 8 decades. There have been many achievements and accolades presented to Larsen and Toubro. Some of them are we have been Company of the Year in 2020. We have been Asia's most honored companies. We have been 12th best Indian brand. But what I find very significant in terms of appreciation, and that's my individual take, is we also have been world's top 100 most innovative companies. And why I find this exciting, because a company which is innovative, is creative, is quite dynamic, is also a company that would be a very exciting company for any engineer, a young engineer, to come and join. So some of the unique qualities of L&T, and it's my duty to highlight this in terms of how we are different from many of the other companies. We are a professionally managed company. And what does it mean? Professionally managed means this company is managed by professionals like you and me. We don't have a promoter. We don't have a single individual or a family who owns this company. It's owned by public and financial institutions. And if I talk about the biggest share somebody has in our company are the government and insurance institutions. Out of that, LIC is our biggest shareholders. 22% shares are being held by individuals like you and me, who get them from the capital market. And we also have an L&T Employee Trust, which holds 13% of holdings of L&T. This I already spoke. We are 80 years into the business, and we lay a lot of focus on training, learning, and development. So if you have read somewhere or while traveling, if you have seen, you would realize that we have a leadership development academy, we have a project management institute, we have a power training institute based in the western regions of the country. We have a skill training institute based in the southern region of the country. We have technical training institute based out of south and western part of the country, which takes care of the entire range of trainings, be it behavioral or be it technical. And that's why we take pride in saying that we lay a lot of focus on training, learning, and development. and obviously a track record of nationally and internationally significant projects, which we already saw. So one thing I mentioned, that we are professionally managed company, and that's what makes us unique. So how it can make a difference in terms of a career decision. It can make a difference in terms of career decision, because in L&T, sky is the limit. So a growth path that extends to the chairman's position, and we have a couple of examples. The most significant is Mr. A.M. Naik, who joined us as a junior engineer, and currently he is holding the chairman's position. Current MD and CEO, Mr. S.N. Subramaniam, he too started his career with L&T in quite initial stages of his career. If you go through the details of our board of directors on our website, you will find that many of them have built their careers right from the initial stages right up to the board. So that's what the organization offers you. Sky is the limit. You can come with your own tool and carve out your career to the extent possible. So we saw, when I was mentioning some of the projects, important projects, we saw that we surely have a cutting edge technology, because there's a lot of focus on innovation. One of the simple examples I gave is Statue of Unity. We completed within 33 months, as compared to the second tallest statue, which got completed in 11 years. And there's a stark difference. Even if we say that today we have an advanced technology, but still the difference is huge. And where such accomplishments would come from, obviously, by continuously innovating. And that's why we always have best-in-class technology. We have in-house technical training that is imparted, and all such things make us really unique and set us apart from many other organizations which are based out of India and also abroad. So be heard and be counted at every step. We don't look at the level at which the person is. We don't look at the age of the person in terms of ideas and views, because your ideas and views will always be respected. First is heard by the seniors and will also be respected by the seniors. And why this happens? Because within L&T, as all of us are professionals, we have access to senior management. And what about the culture? First and foremost, meritocracy. So everything that happens within the organization is merit-based. Right from the entry level, that is the hiring, we don't compromise on any aspect of our recruitment process. So meritocracy runs throughout the organization. We have a culture of trust and openness, transparency, professionalism, and also care. Internally, and once you join us, you'll also come to know about many mentoring programs and other leadership development programs that organization has, and all such programs have been thoughtfully designed for mentoring. And one very important thing which I have also seen many of our senior leaders mentioning on every important forum that they talk to their employees is, at L&T, you are allowed to make mistakes and learn from them. But please take care that you should not be committing the same mistake every now and then. So that's also one of the major aspect of this organization. Many of you, and these are some of the challenges that organizations like us face, because at this age, when somebody comes out of their BE, BTech degree, people would expect that they should have a post-graduation, and a postgraduate in technical degree would also expect that I should have something which is into management. And that's also one of the reasons that people leave their jobs and go for further education. For such type of situation, what L&T has, we have a management education program with IIM Ahmedabad. We have an EMBA with SPGen Institute. We have HR certification course with XLRI. We have MTech with IIT Chennai. We also have an MTech with IIT Bombay. And we also have a leave and sponsorship scheme, which you would come to know later if you join us, in terms of allowing people to pursue their further education. So we have best of the courses, best of the institutes to have a tie-up with in terms of imparting education, further education to our entry-level talent. Obviously, we do have a certain set of criteria for that. And I mentioned that we have a leadership development academy, which is based out of Lonavala, a beautiful landscape we have. Other than the physical infrastructure, we also have the best of global gurus like Marshall Goldsmith or Ven Brockbank or Vijay Govindarajan coming and training our employees, that is the L&T employees. Now, I spoke a lot of work, about projects, challenging projects, education, etc. We also have opportunities which lay a lot of emphasis on work-life balance. So you can have opportunities of going through certain courses in our Leadership Development Academy. You can have an opportunity to do volunteering for our CSR projects, which we run very comprehensively, and every employee of L&T is given an opportunity. Obviously, it's a volunteering effort, not compulsory. So such type of opportunities are also available. Now, coming to what you might be looking for, that if I am hired as a fresher in L&T, then what are the opportunities for me available? So you might have opportunities in design, research and development, in sales and marketing or business development like function, in construction management. A major part of the organization would offer you construction management and project management type of exposure. Manufacturing engineering is one more aspect, and it's all coming from all the types of businesses that I spoke about in the initial part of my presentation. You might have opportunity in erection, testing, and commissioning. Very important functions can also be clubbed under construction management, and very important activities with respect to completion and handing over of the project, and technical service like quality assurance, supply chain, etc. So these are some of the significant opportunities that any BE Tech person would have. And obviously, some of them which we would be hiring from IT background and for IT type of role, they will also have opportunities with respect to IT under this technical services. So that is the bouquet of opportunities in terms of the function or the department that one would get into. And now coming to the career path, this is indicative. I'm just indicating the career path, because if you enter this organization as a graduate engineer trainee or a postgraduate engineer trainee, you will undergo a 1-year training period. And post that 1 year training period, what the chart shows is an indicative career path. You can rise up to business head level. And as I mentioned in my earlier part of the presentation, you can also go beyond that by being an extraordinary performer into our board or be one of those fortunate person who will be the MD and CEO of the organization. So purely, as I said, it's indicative, but that's how your career path would be moving ahead. So this is in terms of the career path one would have. And some of the testimonials coming from our 2020 batch, you might have read it in media that on 17th August, we took joining of 1,000 plus trainees. We were among the core organizations, one of the first organization to take so many people on board quite early in this pandemic, and entire thing we did it in a remote manner. I'm mentioning this because then you will be able to connect to this testimonials which are coming from two of our graduate engineer trainees. So coming to the closing part, after I am done, my colleague Sambit will show you what the compensation we would be offering. But we also have an L&T Campus Engage Facebook page. And for all the updates related to L&T and our hiring process, you can follow this Campus Engage page to keep yourself updated. On an important note, I would like to hand over to my colleague, Sambit, that L&T does not charge candidates fees at any stage of recruitment. So please, please, please be aware of the fake recruitment calls that are coming. And this information should not be limited to only to you, but pass it down to your friends studying not only in your colleges, but mainly in the remote colleges in the remote parts of this country. So on this, what we are offering for in terms of compensation, I'll request my colleague Sambit to share his screen and take all of you through the compensation part. Post that, we will have a Q&A where I'll invite my entire team to respond to the questions that you would be asking, and the Q&A will be through the chat window. Over to you, Sambit. You can put your video on and then.
So is my screen visible now? Hello everyone. Good evening. I am Sambit Mohanty from Talent Acquisition Team of Corporate HR for L&T Limited. So let me briefly explain you the CTC. The CTC that you are seeing on the desktop is basically a GET compensation, GET that we term as Graduate Engineer Trainee. So this stands at 6 LPA, 6 lakhs per annum. I will briefly explain you what are the components also. So just let us go to the next profile that we offer, that is PGET, which is Postgraduate Engineer Training. It's 6.25 LPA. So the third and fourth profile that we offer are MTs and PGMTs, which are Management Trainee and Postgraduate Management Trainee. So these are basically very few colleges that we cater to are basically for the old IITs only. And the CTC stands at 7 LPA. So the main difference will be in the stipend basic and flexi pay. So we will just cover a bit of dip down into the components that we will consider GT compensation for breakup. So stipend basic is 15,500 is a monthly component. Going to flexi pay, flexi is a term which we are using as because there are many components or basic components which are clubbed, and this flexi pay has been devised to minimize the tax. So here there are also a part that is known as company's accommodation. So flexi pay is basically designed for locations, which means your CTC may vary from location to location. So this flexi pay and this CTC of 6 lakhs per annum is specifically designed for Powai location, which is at Mumbai. Okay, so for first and second row, I hope everyone would have understood. Third row is a mix of annual component and company's contribution of provident fund towards your provident fund account. Okay, so there are two provident fund components. One is employer's contribution of 12%, and another is employees' contribution of 12% of your basic pay. So the provident fund of employers contribution, that means L&T's contribution for your PF account, is a part of 12% of your basic, which is a part of this 9,299 rupees. Apart from that, there are annual components also, which is LTA retention pay and leave encashment. LTA terms as leave travel allowances is basically 21,000 per annum. Retention pay is 60,000 per annum. Leave encashment is around 8,000 to 9,000 as per the profile per annum. So all these LTA, retention pay and leave encashment are paid at the end of your training period, which is 1 year. So there are a few questions on transportation and accommodation. So I would like to say that transportation and accommodation are provided in L&T, but these are location specific. Few of our locations have companies accommodation and also provide transportation. Few may or may not provide transportation or accommodation. So when you are posted at any location, the location HR and the business will let you know that all these, what all benefits are a part of your CTC or what are a part of your kind, which is basically not in terms of monetary. So apart from your stipend basic and flexi pay, which are monthly components, a deduction of 150 rupees from your monthly component of stipend basic plus flexi will be deducted towards your medical insurance, and that insurance will cover you for hospitalization of up to 1 lakh rupees. Another final main point that I would like to mention here, this CTC, which is at 6 lakhs per annum, is an office based CTC based out of Powai, Mumbai. So when you are posted at site based locations, basically site means obviously you have seen our project sites. So when you are posted at a site, your CTC increases, where you will get an additional component that is called site allowances apart from your stipend basic and flexi pay. So you will get an additional site allowances if you are only posted at site locations. I hope the CTC is clear to everyone and we are open to questions.
So, Ashish Wadekar here again. Before we go to the question and answer part, couple of things from my side. Again, I am emphasizing that this hiring is for all the businesses of L&T that we have showed into this presentation. Location wise, this hiring is across India. So one should be ready to move across India, north, south, east, west. Okay. So that should be the readiness in terms of joining us. And I also request if any of my colleague, before we get into the Q&A session, if any of my other colleagues want to share something, you please go ahead. Yeah, anything, Mr. Vishnu Prasad, Mr. Charan, Mr. Mayank?
No, sir, I don't have anything to share. It has been nicely captured. All the points have been briefed to the candidates.
Okay, fine. So maybe we'll move to the Q&A part, and I hand it over to my team to take the Q&A one by one. Please start typing it.
Hi everyone. So we have a number of questions related to the test pattern and test slots. So your college is specifically given a time slot and all the students of that particular college will have to attend the online test in that time slot only. In case your college TPO has not given you the time slot or L&T has not provided a time slot to your TPO, then be rest assured by tomorrow evening, by 30th end of the day, every college will have the time slot with your TPO. You can collect it from TPO maybe tomorrow evening onwards. Second, the shortlisted students will get their user ID and password along with the test link, online test link and test instructions just few hours prior to your exam slots. And you will get through your registered email IDs. Just keep a watch on your registered email IDs. Also keep a watch on the junk folders if you would have missed. Also check with your friends if they have got the email. Check with your friends to receive the email. So regarding the test pattern, so we have two profiles. One is a graduate profile and is a postgraduate profile. For graduates and postgraduate, both aptitude are common in terms of timing. They will have 90 questions. Basically, the aptitude test will consist of three subsections: verbal, analytical, and numerical. 30 questions in each subcategories, which makes it to 90 questions in 1 hour. So aptitude test will be of 1 hour 30 minutes. Sorry. So 90 questions, it's 1 hour, 30 minutes. 3 subsections, 30 questions each. So 90 questions for 1.5 hours for both graduates and postgraduates. Coming to technical, graduates will have a half an hour taste of domain technical test paper. Postgraduates will have 1 hour technical domain question paper. So in total, a graduate will attend the examination for 2 hours and a postgraduate will attend the question for 2.5 hours. I hope this clarification is done. Any more questions, please?
Hello, Vishnu Prasad this side. So adding to my colleague Sambit's point. So this time you people will be taking an online test. So please understand the complexity involved in the remote proctoring. So we will be circulating the do's and don'ts. So instructions to be followed. Remote proctoring is something like we used to capture the images and videos and audios and sounds at the background. So you have to sit in a peaceful environment. So please ensure that you are sitting in a calm place and quiet place. And please don't allow anybody in your screen or video. So which will bring down your credibility score. So that ultimately in the intention of not getting a low credibility score, so please follow the instructions very strictly. Also refrain from using the mobile phones, calculators, everything. So all the calculators, everything, it is enabled in the browser itself, test browser. So you need to use only the desktop or laptop screen, whatever you are using. So please follow the instructions. Second thing, I have seen so many questions with regard to working days, working hours. So just to brief you on that, so like Ashish sir has already told you, so it is a company where you will get freedom. So just working days. So at office locations, so it is 5 days working. Alternative Saturdays would be on holidays, and at sorry, it's not 5 days, it is 6 days inclusive of Saturdays. Alternative Saturdays will be working, like first and third Saturdays will be a working Saturday, second and fourth will be a holidays. At project site locations, so people need to extend and work because all the operations are from site and we used to get our bread and butter from project site. So maybe even on other Saturdays and even on Sundays, people need to work on half a day. So considering the hardships at sites, so people will be benefited out of it. Maybe site allowances people will be getting. So the benefits and the benefits of kind valued, like subsidized accommodation, subsidized mess facilities, okay. So and conveyance facilities will be provided to people who work at site. And we also expect young people like you to get posted and work at across any locations or at any project sites. So all the people, all the young trainees will initially be given an opportunity to work on project sites only, so that in the initial period of your career and your initial days of your career, if you work in project site, maybe you will have an overall exposure of the operations, so that your career level elevation would be much more higher. So this I wanted to convey. And also, like we have told you that L&T will give you freedom and the uh, nature of trust and responsibility is there. So we expect you to complete your tasks without any supervision and guidance. See, it is supervision in the sense it is not coming and repeatedly following up with you. So you yourself need to deliver to the responsibility, and you need to rise up to the occasions. So that is what we expect. So nobody will come and tell you at 5:40 you have to go home, and morning 8 o'clock you have to be at office. So whatever task it is being assigned to you, so you need to complete the task. You should have that sense of responsibility that you are completing the task assigned to you on time. So these points I wanted to convey, and thank you. And if you have any queries, we can answer.
Yeah, so I could see one question which says, do I get to choose the department in which I would be working? I already answered while my presentation, and my closing remarks were that location, you need to be location agnostic. You can be posted at any location. Business also, it can be any business out of that long list of businesses I talked about. Similarly, department also, obviously one match would be that mechanical engineer would be put for only mechanical jobs, and civil for civil, etc. But yes, we sometimes it may match to your expectation in terms of the location, business, and department that you want to work for. But please take this into consideration. You are freshers, you are joining us as trainees, so you need to have a lot of flexibility and mobility.
Good evening, everyone. This is Charan here. I just saw a couple of questions asking on the recruitment process, which will be followed for the construction, non-construction businesses. As Ashish told earlier, this is one single team going for both the business together. So there will be no different processes adopted for construction or non-construction businesses. It will be one single process. But there are multiple stages of selection process. Okay? The first starts with your eligibility criteria to apply. I think your TPOs has been very clearly briefed about your eligibility criteria to apply. So based on those eligibility criteria, we also look into the data uploaded by your TPOs and by yourselves. And then we shortlist people based on the cutoff marks. The second stage is basically getting into the assessment test. The ones you write assessment test as briefed by my colleagues, then again, we have a cutoff marks for each of the sections, so we look into that. We also shortlist people on that. Once you get shortlisted, the third stage is obviously the interview. Where you will be met by my technical experts who have spent considerable time in L&T, who are experts in one field. It will be an interview panel. You will have at least two people, two technical and one HR interviewing you. And then the fourth stage is basically after you clear your interviews, you will be obviously shortlisted from the eligibility criteria to the assessment to the interviews, but then there's something called merit list. So you will also be a part of the entire merit list. People who cleared all the parts of assessment are part of the merit list. Now again, in the merit list, we pick up the top people as per the requirements in each of these departments or verticals or any kind of ICs. But then if at all somebody drops out, the next person in the merit list gets shortlisted for the placement. So again, going back to one of the slides where Ashish mentioned about the meritocracy, in campus we are extremely clear about the meritocracies. It's purely merit. There is no shortcuts in campus because we are also prone to a lot of scrutinies in campus process. So if you think that there are people recommendations, no, it's not at all like that. So everybody recommendation or from the eligibilities has to go through the campus recruitment process, and then once they are allocated to different individual verticals, and of course you will be told the place of posting also, and you are expected to be there at place of postings once you know that. So that's how the recruitment process is being carried out in campus, and I hope I have answered some of your queries on what is the recruitment process followed in larsen and toubro.
An additional information for all the students who have doubts with respect to the test pattern, aptitude section will be common for all. And yes, similar to what we have posted on the chat window, technical section will have branch specific questions. So person who's appearing for mechanical, electrical or other branches will have separate technical questions coming up. And specifically for CS and IT, we do not have any coding questions. It will be just MCQ questions that will come under the technical section.
Hello. Sir, one question, sir. I would like to answer the question, sir. Hi, my name is Arun. There is a question, we could frequently see in the chat box. Is there any bond? There is no such bond being inculcated in our LNT campus so far. So there is, to be very clear, no bond for any profile, let it be GET or PGT.
Yeah, I think thanks, Arun, for picking up that question, because in 2019 onwards, we don't have any undertaking. So we are done away with that. And now you come, you join us. If you like, you stay. If you don't, you take your call. But we are pretty sure that if you stay with us for a year or more than that, obviously you will start liking us. So I think there are not many questions now. The rest, what you can do is you can route through your campus recruitment team. There are many questions which I see which are test related. Obviously, you will have a detailed instruction while you take the test. So please be careful, take some time to read it. And on this note, first, I'll thank all my colleagues who are present with me for this presentation. And I thank all of you for connecting with us. Finally, we have numbers which are exceeding in thousands. So it's also a first timer to address a pre-placement talk to a gathering of over maybe we have more than 8,000, 10,000. So that's a huge number to address. We are glad that you are connected. All the best to all of you. Do well in your test with us, with any other company. For we would be selfish that you come to us and you join us. On this note, we end the talk. Thank you all.
Thank you all. All the best.
Thank you, everybody. Wishing you all the very best for your exams. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.